Hi, this is Joe from Vanta. In today's digital world, compliance regulations are changing constantly, and earning customer trust has never mattered more. Vanta helps companies get compliant fast and stay secure with the most advanced AI, automation, and continuous monitoring out there. So whether you're a startup going for your first SOC 2 or ISO 27001, or a growing enterprise managing vendor risk, Vanta makes it quick, easy, and scalable. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Get started at vanta.com.
Hey, welcome back, Northbound. Let's talk about a linchpin today. A linchpin is a pin passed through the end of an axle to keep a wheel in position. And since wheels were invented, the linchpin has been around. Nobody knows who invented it, but the thing is the wheel doesn't stay on the axle without it. So as soon as the wheel was invented, so was the linchpin. In fact, you could say nobody came to the West on wagons without linchpins. Wasn't possible. It's what kept those wagon wheels on the wagon. And since it was invented, it's become a metaphorical concept of being a linchpin, like a person being a linchpin or something being a linchpin, something holding something else together. And in heavy equipment, there's linchpins or pins for all kinds of stuff. There's pins to hold the boom on a crane. There are pins that hold wheels and pulleys and all kinds of stuff. And so those things are going to fall off if there is not a pin to keep it in place. And I bring this up and I talk about the linchpin as the idea or the concept around your office assistants. You are a leader in your organization. You may even be an office assistant and you are leading. Maybe you're not the CEO. Maybe you're not in an executive position. Maybe you're not one of the managers, but you're leading. If you do payroll, man, that is a big leadership position. Payroll is probably one of the most important positions in an organization. So office assistants, they're not just support staff. They are organizational linchpins. And when we talk about culture and what holds an office or organization or business or ministry culture together, quite often it is the office assistants, or what may be referred to as the gatekeepers, or the quiet command center. They run the organization. Understanding that and acknowledging that changes how leaders treat assistants, how employees treat office staff, and how office staff views themselves and views their impact. Whether you are an executive leader, an executive pastor, a director, a manager, you founded your organization, whatever position you're in, you have people that supported you along the way or are helping you right now, or maybe even running it all right now. How are you acknowledging that? How are you managing that, leading that, encouraging that, or encouraging them? So there are kind of pillars or core themes to this. And this goes not only for those in leadership positions, but also for those who are in, we'll just call it employees, and they could be in leadership positions as well. But we're just talking about from the lowest echelon to the highest. And I hate to say it that way, but from entry level positions all the way up. These are core themes that go both ways and everybody should be supporting office staff, because office staff literally supports everyone else. And so it needs to go both ways. It needs to be a symbiotic relationship, one that's built off of a strong, positive culture. So how do we do that? Well, number one is respect and authority. Assistants need to have authority, real authority, not just task management. And leaders should never undermine their assistants. Give them the authority and then let them run with it. Don't undermine them. That's really, really important. And respect needs to come from those who lead the organization and those who work in the organization. Respect the office staff. Man, that's so important. Maybe one of the most important things for a good, healthy culture. And then trust and access. The office staff needs to be trusted and have access to all the tools that they need. And so if you have given your office staff authority, do not bypass them. Do not bypass their authority. Let them run with it. And then in return, they are going to be very, very good gatekeepers for you. And it's not about control. It's about protection. To some degree, it's protection for your time. If you are bypassing them, your people are going to bypass them too. and they're going to come to you when they could have solved it through the administrative staff or through the command center. So it's very important that trust and access goes both ways. And then you need to make sure you are looking for burnout and preventing it. Your office staff is going to see everything and absorb everyone's stress. And so you have to be able to spot the burnout before they're done, before they quit, before they leave without warning, placing you into crisis. So stress, and this is the other thing, it's not just stress up, it's stress down. Your office staff is going to absorb stress from everywhere. So you've got to look out for burnout. Be on the lookout for that. And then communication. Communication is so important. The assistants, or those in what I'm going to mainly call the command center, they are the communication hub. And so poor communication from leadership will break your office. Again, we're kind of back up to the access and authority, and that when you've given them the authority, don't bypass that. Communicate to them, communicate effectively to them, and let them run with it and let them lead. And then another one is compensation and value. Underpaying your assistants, underpaying your leadership staff is failure. And it's going to cost you more than paying them correctly, providing them proper value and compensation. Some of that compensation, as we've talked about on previous podcast episodes, is not just monetary. Now, that is a huge one, but there's also compensation from positive culture, a place where people want to remain, where they want to work. It is a good environment, and they are willing to maybe even accept a little less pay. Maybe you're a small business and you just can't afford that, or you're getting started and you cannot afford to pay more, but you have an incredible culture. You look out for your people, you're taking care of them, you're recognizing them, you're supporting them, and they want to stay. That is compensation and value, and benefits are as well. And so also looking at opportunities to start a 401k for them, or medical, dental, life insurance. There's different things that you may be able to provide that bring compensation and value to your organization. So don't underpay assistants, and realize that the cost of losing them is great. And I brought up culture. That's the next one, is culture and loyalty. Assistants set the tone of the office more than you can ever probably fully realize. Sometimes it's really, really quiet. You never even know that tone is being set. And that can be, if you have a toxic assistant, that can be really, really bad. So there is responsibility from the assistants to also be kind, be efficient, be respectful, manage their authority properly. Okay. But the values of your organization are going to be enforced by your staff. So here are just some little things to keep in the back of your head. Don't treat your assistant just like a secretary. Remember that the smartest person in the room is probably one of the assistants, and they probably know more than you do about your organization. Gatekeeping is leadership. Pay them, or you're going to pay later. And ask yourself this: if your assistant quits tomorrow, will your office survive? Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in to Northbound. Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Please give it 5 stars, put some comments on there. I would love that. And share this with your friends. And if you want to come join us and be a part of the Northbound community, where we encourage each other in leadership and help each other learn from our past failures and successes, please come to www.go-northbound.com. All right, thanks everybody.
You just listened to another episode from the Northbound podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you were encouraged and empowered in leadership. Go lead boldly and humbly. And remember our vision: elevate your team through Christ-centered leadership. If you want to be a part of our community, just go to go-northbound.com and follow the link and come join us. Follow along with courses and live streams and chats, and maybe even join us for an adventure. We'd love to have you. All of those links are in the description below. Thank you again for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. See ya.